Jail Todd writes, Role 4, Scene 12, Take 8, Action. Hey, it's Jay. Today I'm not going to be talking about writing, but rather a certain sexuality. I'm going to be talking about asexual, the asexual spectrum, including demisexual and grey-sexual. Now this is the first of, I don't know how many videos I'm going to be talking about different sexualities and stuff, and like experiences of my friends, but I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to start with asexuality because I am on the asexuality spectrum. I personally identify as demisexual, sometimes I think I'm grey-sexual, and like I will call myself asexual or ace just because it's an umbrella term and it's quicker than saying demi, and people like, know of asexuality more than demisexuality or grey-sexuality. Asexuality and the other terms under the umbrella, they're kind of like the minority of the minority, which is the LGBTQ plus community. Not a lot of people know about it, and for those that do, they may not understand it or things. Now what it is, to start with, is asexual is when you don't, you're not attracted to anyone sexually. Like you may still be romantically attracted to them, aesthetically attracted to them, intellectually attracted to them, any of the other types of attractions, and I'll have a video on different types of attractions as well. Sounds like we're in an amusement park. Wow, okay. And demisexual means that you're only attracted to someone in that way once you've formed a strong emotional bond with that person. Grey-sexual means you're only attracted to someone in that way every now and then, or not as potently as someone who does experience sexual attraction. Now I have several friends who are demi or ace. I don't think I know anyone who's grey-sexual, but I know several demis, I know several aces. Like most people experience sexual attraction, that's again why we're minority for those that don't really. And so if they hear the term asexual, they either don't understand it, or they're like, oh, it's a fake thing, everyone experiences sexual attraction, everyone wants to have sex, everyone has sex. Well, the ability to have sex and the desire to have sex, they're completely different things. Like, you have the ability, like, kids, they have the ability to eat Brussels sprouts. They don't really want to eat Brussels sprouts though, and they're like, unless they're like meat and like more vegetables and fruits than candy. I guess asexuals, we prefer cake. That's like an inside joke if you're an asexual on like Tumblr and things. I am almost 19, and I figured out I was on the asexual spectrum when I was about 17 and a half. It took me so long to figure that out because I hadn't heard of the term until I was about, shortly after I turned 17. And the biggest reason I heard of it was because I'm on Tumblr, and that's like a platform that a lot of socially, I guess you'd say socially questionable topics are discussed at times. And Tumblr's weird. Anyway, and I came across the term asexual, demisexual, and grey-sexual and the definitions for that one day, and I kind of went, wait. That's me. I kind of denied it for a little bit because I hadn't heard of anyone else who was asexual or anything. And like I haven't read any books where the characters, it's canon that they're asexual. Seen any movies, anything. And so I didn't really know if for sure that was like a thing other people experienced. So yeah, I'm gonna go over a few of the think the reasons, like, how I figured out I am demisexual. These are gonna be so out of order, I'm sorry. So for starters, just like hearing the word sex or hearing anyone talk about it, 95% of the time I am uncomfortable with topics of that, unless it's like defending someone for like their right to have sex, or like rape victims and stuff. Like, I hate discussing anything else about like doing it for joy and things. I'm just like, why would you want to do that? Like, why would you, like, why? There's so many more better things to do. And one of my best friends, who's younger than me, she actually had to like explain like it actually is like a thing that feels good. And sometimes I'm so like, really? If you say so, it sounds like a lie, but okay. And like that always, like, I'm even in college I'm still like that, but I've been like that since I can remember. Like, that thought, like, actually doing the do, as I say, never like crossed my mind like as a thing I would actually consider doing. And I was like, maybe I was close enough to someone where like I trust them wholeheartedly and stuff, hence demisexuality. Some of these points may be contributed to other things, other personal things, but I think that bisexuality does like influence them in some way, or vice versa. So the next reason the next way I found out I am on the asexual spectrum is I haven't welcomed the thought of like actually having kids since I was in 8th grade. Like, I don't want to give birth. Like processes happening down yonder is like a thing that hasn't appealed to me for a while, and like part of that may be attributed to the fact that I grew up an only child and like I don't have like a lot of experience with kids, and a couple other personal things, but like the idea of baby making, no, I don't really, well, no, like I get the necessity of it, but I don't want to participate. My first boyfriend, like, I was 15 and he was my first boyfriend, and so like I was still shy and stuff. I wasn't as outgoing as I am now. Like, I could barely hold hands with him, I could barely hug him without totally freaking out. Like, part of it was because I was about to move across the country, or at least there's that possibility of moving. Ow! I'm okay, thanks for asking. And so like I kind of didn't want to allow myself to get close to him. But there was still that like expectation I felt, because I knew one day he wanted to have kids and I didn't. I wanted to adopt, and I still want to adopt. And so like I felt like that was an expected thing of me. I didn't really want to do it though, and so I didn't allow myself to do other things with him besides sit there and talk and like play video games and watch movies and stuff. And like I've always had an issue with like romantic things. I don't know if it stems from certain experiences or if it stems from sexuality. It could be a little bit of both. But with my second boyfriend, like sometimes I could tell like he wanted to kiss me. Like, I liked kissing him. God, this is a really awkward thing to talk about. Anyway, I liked kissing him. But like if sometimes I could tell he wanted to, I would just kind of like look away, or so just replay a game or something. Like neither of us really like PDA, and so like I was totally okay with that. Like sometimes he hugged me public, and then like one time I like, held hands with him. But like whenever he wanted to do a little bit more than that, I would just kind of be like, maybe, I don't know. Like along the same lines, for my second boyfriend, okay, so my second boyfriend and I dated for almost 8 months, whereas my first boyfriend and I only dated for like 3 months. So like, there's more, that I'm going to be talking about my second boyfriend more than my first one. Sometimes I would force myself to make the first move. I don't know if it was because I was shy, or I wasn't really experienced, or what, but sometimes that didn't come very easily to me. And like, shortly after that, after about a month or 5 weeks of that happening, we were talking, and we were just chatting, and then he's like, yeah, sometimes like I still question about like whether she likes me or not. Then I'm like, she wrote songs about me. Yeah, she totally still likes me. I'm like, yes, I do still like you. It's just I don't know. And then in like November when we were dating, I was kind of like, so I think I'm this. What do you think? And like we kind of were on the same eye level, and we saw eye to eye, and like he understood more what was happening. And like when was still hiding that from him and from myself, I had like a blank expression, and sometimes he couldn't really tell what I was thinking. It's like that he was doing something wrong. I felt so bad about that. I'm so sorry, Bryn. And like I don't know, this like learning curve was interesting. This one may be a modesty thing, but like, and it probably is, but at the same time it's just like, ew, why would you do that? When guys take off their shirts, or like in gym and PE, or on like movies and stuff, I'll just kind of look away and be like, tell me that's done, because this is gross, I'm not interested in that, ew. Whereas like my other friends are like, I'm just like, I don't know, one time when I was in 8th grade, we were jogging around the track, and these like 3 guys took off their shirts because like they're in sports, and they were trying to flirt with some girls or some crap, and I was just like looked away, spun around, and started walking backwards, getting one of my friends to guide me, and she thought it was ridiculous. But I'm uncomfortable whenever people are shirtless of any gender, or like, please have clothes on, like full body clothes. I also hated the topic in sex ed in 9th grade, but then again, like, who doesn't? Like, part of me is like really interested in it because it's learning and it's like humans, but at the same time it's like, I don't want anything to do with this, please. I don't care, like, no thank you. This is one of the last things I believe, but in like literature, especially in like Shakespeare plays like Romeo and Juliet, when they talk about like sex, and when we discuss it in my literature classes, I'm just sitting there like, when's this gonna be over? I just want to go and eat cake and drink milk and read books and write. I don't want to talk about this. I'm not interested in this. Like, if the time comes where I am interested in this, then I will do research or ask friends, but right now I don't really care. I don't want to do anything with this. Please let me leave. And like, sometimes I still have a hard time with this sometimes, because this world is so, like, the phrase sex sells, and fashion, and makeup, and like anything really, like cars, like they will, advertisers will use females, and make them look sexy somehow, and to get someone to buy their product. And I'm just like, that doesn't work on me. Because like, if you see a very skinny model, like an underfed model, who's photoshopped on a magazine for like selling a swimsuit or makeup or something, they're just like, look beautiful like her, and like she's almost like naked. I'm just like, please give her a sandwich and clothes. And then guys, like, they're shirtless and all muscular and stuff. I'm just like, I don't freaking care. Like, 1, I don't care. 2, I don't care so much where it's gross. And like, I look away, and like one of my best friends, sometimes they'll show me like a picture of this hot guy, a guy who they think's hot at least, and like he's either has his shirt on or off. It's like 50-50, it ranges. And like, they're just like, oh my god, he's so cute, so cute. I'm just like, if you say so. So yeah, hopefully like that gives you some insight into like asexuality. I'll probably talk about it again in another video. I'm planning on doing a video where I talk about like all of the known, or at least the ones the sexuality terms and gender terms I know. This could give a brief summary of all of them. but I may do another video later down the road of, what's my hair doing? Of asexuality more. I get input from friends who are ace or demi, and like if I think of more ways that I figured out I am demi, then I will. Oh, so you can't really see earlier, but this is the ring I'm wearing in my middle finger. It's like a thing for ace and demi people and other people on the asexual spectrum to have like a black ring on their right middle finger, just like to wear in public and be like, hey, I'm one of y'all. Mine's black and silver. I couldn't find a black ring, and two, I liked it better because then it's kind of like not totally ace, but like not totally ace, like demisexual and grey-sexual. So yeah, and I also have this demisexual demigod sticker on my laptop, so representing that part of me. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Bye.